Hello everybody. Tell me please, how much do you know about Henri Matisse's life? Actually, before I came to Nice, I knew him only as an artist who painted La Danse. Yeah, it was me. But after I visited a museum of Henri Matisse in Nice, I will leave a link somewhere here if you didn't watch it still. I was interested in a story of his life, and I found a book written by Hilary Spurling. And by the way, in 2006, she got prestigious literature British award, White Bread, as for a book of a year, for a biography of Henri Matisse. And you may ask me why this book is so unique. And first of all, his descendants allowed her to quote diaries and letters, and they showed her a family archive. And a work on this book was continued during 15 years. And during this time, she could meet everybody who knew Henri Matisse, and she could visit all places, all important places for him, for Henri Matisse. And even she has learned French to work on this book. So today I begin a series of videos about Henri Matisse's life. Each video it will be a chapter of a book dedicated to definite period of his life. And so I hope that after my videos you will discover Henri Matisse from another, from deeper side as well as me. And I invite you to a journey into the past, and today we will talk about his first 22 years. A history of Matisse's family began in the northern east of France, in Flemish Plain, where all of them were wearers. Henri Matisse was born in just in New Year's Eve. It was the 31st of December 1869 in Le Cateau-Cambrésis. His parents just came back from Paris to celebrate New Year with the family, so at once they've got a present. There was a tradition in Matisse's family that a firstborn got the name of his father. So this way, Henri Matisse Jr. was brought into the world. Let's focus a bit on his parents. So his father, before Henri Matisse, his father worked in one of fashion Parisian boutique in lingerie department, which he was proud of during all his life. A mother of Henri Matisse, Anna Matisse, worked in one of Parisian hat shop. When Henri Matisse was 8 days old, they moved to Boen and Vermandois, and they found there a shop. A shop where they sold everything from seeds to paints. Anna Matisse specialized in paints, and she advised customers how to blend colors. So I think this way Henri Matisse got a love to colors. And his father sold seeds, a lot of seeds, so soon this shop became one of the biggest in Boen. So, a couple words about Boen. A key of its success were textile and sugar beet. And when Henri Matisse was a child, he saw fabrics, plants, and fields more often than windmills or bell towers. And he reminded that a tree which grew on a field was cut just because of it cast a shadow on a 4 sugar beets. They produced the most expensive goods such as silk, velvet, merino wool, um, cashmere, and so on. So this way, textile and fabrics appeared on Matisse paintings all of his life. They were on walls, on windows, cushions, and sofas. His models sat on these sofas, weared in expensive trousers and blouses and dresses made from Boen's fabrics, which was made for Parisian fashion house Chanel. Everybody in Matisse family worked very hard. They woke up before sunrise to survive in this real life, to earn money. So there were a lot of rules of discipline and self-limitation in his family. So it influenced so much on Henri Matisse that even after 40 years that he lived in Nice, in the southern France, he called himself as a man of the north. Relationships with parents were different. His father was strict and not really fair, and his mother loved Henri Matisse very much. She always supported him. He had weak health when he was a child, so she had to take care about him very much. So Henri Matisse always wanted to do for her something special, to cheer her up. So it was a very warm relationships between Henri Matisse and his mom. So, what was another Matisse's inspiration? What kind of boy he was growing? First of all, he liked transformating and imitating, and his friends always laughed when he parodied somebody he knew. But actually there wasn't that much to create his imagination in Boen. We still remember landscapes that he saw there. He could meet new people only in spring and summer when sailors, actors, artists, and circus performers came to Boen. Later, Henri Matisse told that period he wanted to become clown and house rider, and he always wanted to pay attention on himself. He wanted to become an acrobat as well. He even trained to stay on a head. All of his life he had a great imagination, but it was balanced by his northern temperament. And I can illustrate it telling you one case from his childhood. Once upon a time, a hypnotist arrived in the town, and his victims were so hypnotized that they swam just on a stage, they screamed, they put off their clothes, and so on. So Henri Matisse with friends decided to try being hypnotized too. And at that moment when Henri Matisse walked on a flower field, he suddenly noticed a carpet pattern. And at that moment he at once came back to reality. So he loved to repeat that no matter how far his imagination carried him, he always remembered about a carpet. In childhood, Henri Matisse didn't have a lot of friends. One of the best friends was Léon Vasson, and together they created a puppet show. Together they learned playing a violin, And actually, Henri Matisse was a very talented student, but the teacher was so rude and so strict that he very often missed his lessons. But however, despite it, he could become a virtuoso musician, and a violin stayed with him for all of his life. After school, Henri Matisse studied at the Lyceum in Saint Quentin, and it was like a military monastery because students walked in formation, and bedrooms weren't heated even in winter when temperature were 11 degrees below zero. Drawing lessons there were limited only copying plastic statues, and all these lessons was a celebration of defiance, and Henri was the driving force. And he admitted that one of his vivid memory from this period was one case when he spat from the stairs on the teacher's top hat. So, when he was 17, he suddenly left this lyceum. He didn't finish it. At first, he began to work as a scribe at the nearby office, and in a few months, he decided to move to Paris. He worked for a while as a scribe too there, and after that, he entered the faculty of law. After a year there, he came back to Saint Quentin and began to work as a clerk at a lawyer office. During that period, he suffered from mental anguish, which he hid behind fun with friends on weekends. The most part of a year, when he was 20, he was ill. He stayed at a hospital. It was when he became interested in paints. His neighbor in the hospital room copied Alpine landscapes from reproductions, and he advised Henri Matisse to take up drawing so that time would fly faster. Henri's mom, Anna Matisse, brought him a box with paints and two images. Later, Matisse will tell that before he was nothing interested in. He was indifferent to everything, but after a paint box appeared in his hands, he realized that it was his life. He was 20 years old and depressed of wasted time, so he wasn't going to lose any minutes more. And he bought a tutorial of oil painting and drew two paintings. There were still lifes. He drew everything that a clerk had: table, books, lamp, newspapers, etc. I hope I could find this painting that I'm going to talk about. So, in 10 years after this painting, he said this painting already contained everything I've created later. So basically, I would paint nothing after it, but if I paint no more paintings, nobody noticed it. After recovering, he began working at the other lawyer office and signed up for an art school, which was in 2 minutes walk from the office. Lessons began at 6 o'clock in the morning and lasting for 2 hours, and after the work he came back to the art school, so he worked very hard. At this art school there wasn't much real art, because students all of this time just copied famous paintings. At this time, a young Parisian artist, Emmanuel Croiset, arrived to Saint Quentin, and he had completely another point of view on art and art education, and he wanted to change teaching methods, and he offered paint outside. So Henri could visit these lessons only on lunchtime, so he really worked hard. And I should tell you that this period he lived with feeling of losing time. So that's why this period he woke up before sunrise. He ran to the art school, and after the work he was in a hurry to paint outside before a sunset. After Croiset's school was closed because of unacceptable methods of teaching, Matisse with two friends left for Paris to become painting teachers, and his family was shocked. Every creative person for them was a slacker. Each habitant of Boen knew that Henri couldn't manage a shop and couldn't become a lawyer as well. So his father wasn't going to give him money for a Parisian life. But anyway, his wife, Matisse's mom, Anna Matisse, persuaded him to pay Henri 100 francs during only 1 year. So this is the end for today, and if you liked my video, please subscribe not to miss the next one. So see you soon, have a very nice day, bye bye.